board concerns?
I do. I don't know about the rest of you commissioners, but I've been receiving a ton of emails in regards to this AGA group, Association for Government Accountability. In this last one, it really saddens me to think that this association or group puts out all this information while we're trying to do negotiations with these unions. It's not all true statements, and that's probably the most disappointing part of the whole matter. How do you go back and negotiate with unions after comments like this are made? I don't.
Well, the reason these people hide is because they don't, if they don't put their names out there, then they don't have to speak accurately. And to try to hold this board hostage through these negotiations, or even the unions hostage, is pretty sad, and it's unfortunate that some of this information got leaked from this board, and it's very unfortunate. There's a reason we go into closed session, is so that we can keep the integrity of these negotiations. And quite frankly, all the hard work that's gone into these negotiations have essentially been lost, in my opinion. And if we're gonna be on this negotiation team, we need to be on the team, not outside of the team. And we need to move forward working with the unions to come up with a good contract. And quite frankly, from here on out, it's gonna be very difficult to do that, because the unions don't trust the county board at this point. And I think this rogue group is not putting out accurate information. That's why they won't put their names to this information. If it was truthful information, they'd be happy to put their names to this group. But they hide behind titles. And this isn't the first time this group's done this, and it's the same people. We all know who it is. But this board cannot continue feeding them information.
I think there's some pretty serious innuendos being made there. I have
Well,
not fed
these
any-
aren't innuendos.
I have not fed
These aren't
any-
innuendos,
Listen,
Dave.
Mr. Chairman, I have not fed anybody any information. It could have come from somebody that was on the other side, that one of the unions that negotiated and talked to somebody.
Yeah,
I mean, it could
I'm
have.
sure that's what happened.
Absolutely, it could have.
But I also have a document here that states that, well, it's actually a signed affidavit by you, Dave, that says you're on this government Association for Government Accountability with your signature and notarized. Do you say that's not your signature?
No, I'm saying that it was my signature.
Oh,
But
so-
I have,
so you're part
a
of
long
this
time
group.
ago- What is that
So
dated?
when you talk
When is
about
that dated?
innuendos, it's very difficult for us to believe that this
And for
board.
what purpose was it for, Commissioner Springer?
Well, I don't.
That was for that lawsuit that I signed on to.
Well, in law, there's a
Okay.
thing by guilt by association. So,
Okay, well,
so
then
I'm just
guilty by-
stating a fact
you know,
here.
What are you
so,
gonna do? Take away
well,
my birthday or crucify me?
Well, no, I'm just stating from here on out, it'd be nice to negotiate in.
I have not divulged
Interest-
anything to anybody
Can you
outside of the closed
can you
session.
tell me this though? That what with this happening, it has hindered and made this negotiation a much more difficult task.
I don't know that it has or not, you know.
Well, let me put it this way:
in-
when you were on the Lake City Police Department, you were union, correct?
Yes, I was.
Were you a union steward ever?
Yes, I was.
And if the city of Lake City, if that council members would have done this to you, would have trust been broken?
It would have ticked me off.
Yeah. And the employees feel the same way. And so whether you were involved or Commissioner Russian was involved or whoever, because you both have signatures that state you're part of this group and it came out from this group, the guilt by association is there. Whether you want to
Okay.
believe it or not, that's the fact. But from here on out, you either need to be on the negotiation team with us, or you need to step away and let these negotiations continue in good faith.
Well, you know what? it's gonna come to the board. I wasn't on the negotiation team, I ended up there by default to start with. I have harbored no hard feelings for that, but I ended up there. If you don't want me on there, tell me you don't want me on there. For gosh sake, stand up and be a man and tell me that.
I don't want you on there.
All right, I'm off.
All right, I appreciate that. And we'll move forward and try to get these negotiations moving back in the direction we need them to be. We need to try to regain the trust of the employees, and hopefully we can repair this and move forward.
Another concern with this Association for Government Accountability, I had a couple individuals that said they tried to unsubscribe from the emails and they've been not successful. So I guess I wish all these email addresses that got obtained in whatever form, I don't know how they do it, I wish they would send out an email asking if you want to still be on the list, because there are a lot of people that would like to be deleted from the list. It's sad that we've come to this, but
And this is just a suggestion, obviously not in front of the board, but since I think Ms. Russian's affidavit indicates that she's the chair of the AGA, maybe these folks want to email her and ask to be removed. I don't know what else you do.
That's a good suggestion when they call us and ask us how to get off
Either
that
that
list.
or Commissioner Harm, since he's a.
No, he's a chairman, he can do it, he's a big boy.
Who's the chairman?
You are.
Oh, you want me to request it from her? I can
Absolutely,
certainly.
if that's what you
Well,
want. do
I
it.
think that these people that are requesting to be removed, if we can have them forward this to her.
You know, let's talk a little bit more about breaking down trust. I've got a copy of a letter from the county attorney's office, Michael Plant, who's on the negotiating committee, and the other employees of the county attorney's office, threatening to join the union if they didn't get their way on some labor issues here about a year ago. Should they be on the negotiating committee? I'm asking a question. Was sent to the Bureau of Mediation up at Wabasha or wherever it is in Nashwauk, Minnesota.
Well, it appears to me that went through the appropriate channels, whether we like it or not. But I guess at the end of the day,
Does it break
we're
down the
not-
trust from our side? Should it?
I don't know, breaking trust. Do you?
I don't know how the negotiations are gonna end up because of that.
Well,
I think it's in their interest to have some clauses in the contract that may or may not get dealt with because of that.
I guess from here on out, if we get these emails requesting to be, how do we get off that? We just need to, forward them on to the chairman or chairwoman, chairperson, Deb Russian, to be removed from the list. I guess it's the only suggestion, since you, Deb, and Merle Norman and Lynn Cliff are the only people that this document says is on this group.
That one, and for
So-
what purpose was that, Commissioner Springer?
Well, I don't
On
know
that
for
group.
sure.
That was for that lawsuit.
And I guess in response to your earlier question about trust, when Mr. Plant and I looked into forming a union in the county attorney's office, which we didn't follow through with, I don't know that it creates any more of a conflict.
But it was a threat.
Can I finish before you interrupt me? I'd appreciate that. We didn't actually form a union. I don't think it creates a conflict of interest for us any more than it would for you, having actually been a member of a union. We never have been part of a union.
So, well, I guess from here on out, let's just try to work with the unions, get a good contract. There's a lot of damage that's been done. We need to move forward. And I guess with that, I don't see really any reason to go into closed session this afternoon with what's happened. One, and two, Michael is ill today. So I don't know how fruitful that would be. And I guess for the union's sake, I guess I'd like for them to see us not go into it at this point, so it doesn't look like we're trying to figure out a game plan. I
Okay
guess
with those two, or okay with the rest of the board, I guess. I should write that down maybe.
The consensus not to go in.
I was gonna suggest that, and another suggestion, I will continue on the negotiation committee, but from here on out, I believe I have what's the wording, in closed session from the rest of the board members, because I have the knowledge and know what you guys
Consensus of
what you guys are expecting for the ongoing negotiations, and I would prefer another member to be on that committee.
I think maybe on the 15th, we could maybe actually officially place the commissioner on with you
Okay.
and see how we go
Okay,
from
so
there.
On the 15th, you'd like
Well,
to appoint a new
yeah, when do we have to
commissioner
have that information to you about for the agenda?
Oh, not for a while yet?
Yeah. Why don't I get back to you on that?
Or let Michael know?
Yeah, I'll let
Okay.
Michael know.
Okay, so it's consensus of the board not to go into closed session, or what do you want me to write?
Is it okay with you?
That's fine.
Okay with me?
Michael?
Yeah.
Yep, consensus. Anything more to come before this board?
I just want to make it known, one more time, I have not talked to anybody about anything out of this closed session.
And if that's true, Dave, I
That is
truly
true.
appreciate it.
That is true.
I appreciate it then. I appreciate that. Anything more? Otherwise, I'd like a motion to adjourn.
Also move.
Motion by Commissioner Wabi. Do we have a second?
Mr. Chair,
Second by Commissioner Hall. Any more discussion? All in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.